Have you ever just looked at a totally normal suburban corner and thought, what if this could be something more? I mean, not just a patch of grass, but like a real blueprint for the future. Well, let's get into it, because today we're deconstructing a really bold proposal that wants to do exactly that. Transform one single acre in Delaware into a model for a whole new way of living.
And it all really boils down to this one single question. It's a challenge, right? It challenges everything we kind of assume about the suburbs. The whole idea here isn't just about building some new houses. It's about reclaiming land for a purpose that's bigger, blending the spiritual with the totally practical.
So, to really get what this vision is all about, we've got to start at the very beginning, with the project's identity, and you'll see its surprisingly specific real-world roots.
Yeah, see, this isn't some abstract pie-in-the-sky theory. This entire grand vision is literally grounded on one specific acre of land. It's at the corner of Lake and Providence in a place called Delaware. It's a real, tangible spot that's been chosen to be a living laboratory for this massive idea.
Now, the project's identity is super interesting because it's actually got three layers. First up, you've got One Lake Drive. That's the spiritual heart, the design, it's the path. Then there's OneLakeDrive.com, which acts as the covenant. It's the digital and financial glue holding it all together. And finally, you have One Lake Doctor. This piece represents the ecological and healing side of things, aimed at restoring both the land and the people on it.
And that flow perfectly illustrates their core motto, the path, which leads to healing, which in turn creates the future. It's a really simple but pretty profound philosophy that guides the whole plan. So where does this journey begin? Well, it starts with that first pillar, wisdom.
Okay, so before you can build a single thing, you need a solid foundation, right? For One Lake Drive, that foundation is wisdom. This is the philosophical why that underpins the entire project.
And this is the central challenge they're really trying to tackle. I mean, in a world that feels so divided, is it even possible to find a universal set of values that pretty much everyone can get behind? They think the answer is a big yes, and they went to some of the world's most ancient sources to find it.
So where did they look for this common wisdom? They dove into four major world scriptures: the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Dhammapada. Now, the goal wasn't to mash them up into a new religion or anything. It was to pull out the shared ethics. Things like mindfulness, stewardship, and just care, the values that actually connect them all.
This all leads to a really fascinating concept they call a moral operating system. Seriously, think of it like software for a community. It's a shared framework for making decisions, for resolving conflict, a kind of curriculum designed to build a social fabric that's both spiritually grounded and super welcoming to everyone.
Okay, so with that philosophical why firmly in place, let's switch gears to the practical how. How do you actually build this vision? And that brings us right to the design pillar.
The project asks this incredibly urgent question. I mean, they're basically arguing that the suburbs of the past, the way we've always built them, just can't handle the storms of the future. So the point is we have to totally rethink the design of our communities from the ground up.
And check this out. These are the tangible solutions they're proposing. They call them climate sanctuaries. We're talking about homes that are literally fireproof and flood resilient. We're talking about infrastructure that has rain harvesting, rooftop gardens, its own solar microgrids, and systems where there is basically no waste. It's not just a house. It's designed to be a living, breathing ecosystem.
This also means we need a whole new way of thinking about density. Instead of just endless sprawl, they're proposing what they call sacred density. It's this model for a village per hectare. So think compact, walkable communities with beautiful shared green spaces. The goal here is to redefine density not as just a number, but as a measure of a thriving, connected community.
So, this whole vision kicks off on just 1 acre in Delaware, but the ambition behind it is so much bigger. The real goal here is to create a blueprint that can be used for a global network.
And of course, the second you start talking about scaling things globally, you run headfirst into this critical question. How do you use the tools of business and finance to actually heal and restore the world instead of just, taking from it? It's a huge challenge, really, keeping capital as the servant of the sacred, not the other way around.
The whole plan really hinges on empowering specific leaders to carry this vision forward. They call them champions of wisdom and members of a White Lotus Council, basically stewards in different nations who would be responsible for putting this model into practice and doing it ethically.
And look, this isn't just a hopeful idea. They've outlined the actual practical tools to make it happen.
The plan is to use established legal and financial stuff like Delaware LLCs, franchise agreements, and special investor networks to make sure the model can be scaled responsibly and effectively all over the world.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most profound question in this whole project. Can this vision of Utopia actually become real?
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The word utopia literally means nowhere. And the whole ambition of One Lake Drive is to defy that very definition, to take all these huge ideals and root them in real soil in a real place with real people.
So, when you boil it all down, the ultimate goal is this: a replicable model for a new way of living. It's one that tries to balance ancient wisdom with modern design and ecological healing with economic stability. It's a real attempt to prove that all of this can actually work together, starting on just a single acre.
And that's what we're left with. This final, really thought-provoking question from the project's founder. If you could design the perfect city block, one that was wise, sustainable, and truly beautiful, what would it look like? The One Lake Drive project offers us one possible answer, and it kind of invites all of us to imagine our own.